Today I'm joining in a collab with one of my all-time favorite YouTubers, the Purple Alphabet. If you have not checked out her channel, you really must. Anyone who has younger children or homeschools their children or has preschool age kids, her channel is awesome. She does product reviews and does different types of lessons and learning things, and it's a really great channel, and her videos are really short and sweet a lot of the time, and she just is very clear and concise, and I really appreciate that. As a busy mom of 5 kids, I don't have a lot of time to watch extensively long videos, and so I love people who share shorter videos with a lot of great information. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 of my favorite mom things. Obviously, I'm a homeschool mom. I have 5 kids ages 4 through 12, and so for me, a lot of the things that are my favorites or are important to me have to do with homeschool, because I homeschool. It's what I do. It's my life. I've been getting a lot of requests to share some of my favorite books, and so I'm going to go ahead and share 3 of my favorite books with you today. My first favorite book that I have already talked about before is Teaching from Rest by Sarah Mackenzie. This is basically a must-have for any homeschool mom. If you homeschool your kids, if you're thinking about homeschooling your kids, you need to get your hands on this book. I had a friend recently ask me if she could borrow it, but my book is in such bad shape, as you can kind of see here, and there's like coffee stains on it too, because I just have read it so many times. So I didn't even really feel right giving her my book to borrow, so I just got her a book. They are really affordable on Amazon. I will have a link down below for you so that you can pick up your own copy. It is an easy, quick read, but it is so encouraging that I come back to it over and over and over again. So if you don't know who Sarah Mackenzie is, she is the person who started the Read Aloud Revival. I think probably most homeschoolers have heard of her. And this is her book, Teaching from Rest. And Teaching from Rest is not what you think it is. So let me go ahead and look inside the book and kind of explain it to you a little bit better. So one of the ways that she explains rest is by a chapter heading which says rest is not ease. And it says, teaching from rest doesn't mean that we let our children dictate the curriculum, that we ignore timetables altogether and decide we don't care if our children ever get into college or pass their exams. Rest is trusting that God's got this, even if I'm a mess, even if I'm not enough, even if I mess up every day, because I do. I mean, seriously, how relatable is that? I know that all homeschool moms definitely feel that way from time to time, and I just found this book so incredibly encouraging. She goes on to say later in the chapter, teaching from rest means we don't panic when things don't go according to our plan. In fact, we plan for plans to not always work out well. I think that is a really, really great tip. I know that when I was first starting out homeschooling, I always felt like a failure if things didn't go according to my plan, or if I had to do something in the morning, I couldn't pick up where I left off, and it just was always such a big struggle for me. And this book is so encouraging because it goes on here to say, in fact, unshakable peace is not tied to my successes at all. It's tied to faithfulness. We rest in knowing that if our children grow up to ask us why we did what we did, why we focus on cultivating wonder and curiosity, on learning hard things such as Latin and algebra, and why we didn't fill up our days but focus on living well and gazing on Him, we can answer them with confidence. So it's all about putting our trust and faithfulness in God and then kind of just sharing that with our children by the way that we live and the way that we raise them. Part 2 of this book then goes on to talk about basically how to simplify your homeschool, from simplifying your curriculum to actually how your schedule is played out during the day. And it talks about lightening up your load and simplifying everything. And I know that for me, from the way that I started homeschooling to the way that I homeschool now, we have really, really simplified. From even just our homeschool room, how simple it is now compared to those early days. We have tried so many different ways to simplify. So I have found this part 2 of the book incredibly encouraging, especially as I always feel like I kind of get carried away with things. And it's always good to try to go back to the roots and to simplify. And then part 3 is called Be Who You Are. And it is all about being real and being true to yourself. And there's a whole section here about how to pour into yourself. There's actually like points. I think there's, 5 or 6 points that she talks about: choosing a literary mentor, take a class, keep a commonplace book, copy a scripture passage by hand, start a School Sisters group. There's all these different ways that you can actually pour into yourself, because I know as a homeschool mom, your life basically becomes being a homeschool mom. I mean, that's what you do, that's who you are. And it's important for us as human beings and as women and men to find things to fill our lives and to fill our cup. And so I love this book. It is so encouraging. It is incredibly practical. And I come back to it over and over again every single year. Since this book came out, I have read this several times every single year. The next book that I want to share with you is called 10 Ways to Destroy the Imagination of Your Child by Anthony Esolen. And I got this book because we were in Classical Conversations and they gave this book out at a conference several years ago. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful read for us. I think that there are so many ways that children are supposed to be able to learn that really don't fit who children are. To have a child sit at a desk for hours and hours every day is not the way to help a child learn. And so there are, I think, 10 points or 10 chapters in this book. Let me look it up. Yeah, there are 10 chapters in this book that explain all these different ways that you should basically not raise your child. Keep your children indoors as much as possible is method number 1. Never leave children to themselves is method number 2. Method number 3 is keep children away from machines and machinists. And there's all different types of things that they kind of just teach you the opposite of that, obviously, because none of these things are true. We want our children to be exposed to lots of different things. We want to give them lots of different experiences, broaden their horizons, and help them to learn how to think for themselves. And that's incredibly important. I would highly recommend this book as well. And the last book that I'm going to share with you is the Catholic Mom's Prayer Companion. Well, let me first of all say, you don't have to be Catholic to like this book. It does have like quotes from saints and popes and things like that, but it is applicable to any Christian person, and it is beautiful. It's very thick. It has something for every single day of the year, and there's different, there'll be different verses from the Bible or different poems or things like that. And it's all of it's very, oh, there's St. Patrick's Day. So here's a quote from St. Patrick, and then it'll have just like a little devotion for you, and then at the end of each page, it will have something for you to ponder. And so this is really simple, really quick, perfect for the homeschool mom of many children who doesn't have a lot of time. So I actually just keep this out next to my chair that I sit in a lot, and I can just pull it out when I want to. And sometimes I will go through it and read like different parts of it, just because some things are more applicable than others. But it's really, really great. I love this little quick, sweet devotional, and so I will have this link to down below as well. So I hope that sharing these few homeschool things with you guys is inspirational to you as well. Like I said, I will have all of these books linked to in my description box down below so that you can go get yourself a copy. Thank you so much to Christina from the Purple Alphabet for asking us to join in this collab. It was a lot of fun to share a few of my favorites. Make sure that you go check out her channel and the playlist, which are both down in the description box. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and have a great day.